So, yeah, I guess I'll start off just for the readers that don't know, what would you describe breatharianism as?
Um, it doesn't. Breatharianism doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, are we actually using this as it is, like a recording, or is it going to be put into writing or something?
I'm going to put it into writing.
Oh, okay, so it's just for reference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna record just so I don't miss anything.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist. All the definitions are bullshit and all that stuff. At best, we're liquidarians,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how I would describe this thing. My work is pretty much changing this whole thing around and redefining it and setting new standards, so that people can get a better understanding as to what this is. This thing is so new, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is seriously unbelievable. This thing is so deep and new. It's unbelievable. This is like the one of the biggest lies ever on the planet being covered here. This is really how deep this is.
Sorry, when you say this is one of the deepest lies, are you referring to breatharianism or the current state of eating?
I'm talking about both.
Mm-hmm.
Both, because they're all one and the same. But it depends who you talk to as to what bullshit you get out of them, basically. But I can tell you that my work is redefining everything and getting the real truth out. People will tell you. I mean, you can interview one of the high-profile guys, breatharians. They can give you some bullshit about love and light, but that's bullshit. All right, there's a deeper truth to that, and the vast majority of the breatharians out there, high-profile ones that are doing it, are not actually doing what they say they're doing.
Do you mean they're just lying and eating food on the side, or?
I wouldn't say lying or eating food on the side, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, we all mess up.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a deeper truth and a deeper part of the process. I'm on the deeper part of the process. They're not on that deeper part of the process yet. Does that make sense? But to answer your actual question, breatharianism as it stands does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing. It's fasting or liquidarianism at best.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very few people have evolved to the point of actually being external food and external liquid free.
Okay.
And the definitions, I've actually already redefined the definitions
Mm-hmm.
correctly, and it's in my books. But those will never come out.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on Wikipedia and try and put your shit on there, but it won't come out. So that'll get changed within 5 minutes. I can guarantee you, because I've seen it done. I've already tried.
Yeah.
All right, you'll get some bullshit skeptics pre-copied and pasted version up on there in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this thing is quite deep. I've had international media companies come at me saying they want to do this, they want to do that. I'm like, fine, let's get it on.
Really?
They ain't got the balls to go through with it. Cause I'm not one of these bullshit breatharians.
Wow.
That they know will flake out.
That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy.
You don't know, my friend. You don't know. I've had people come at me. I've had movie guys come at me, and as soon as they go to the money men, it stops.
Really?
I've had offers like you would not believe, but as soon as it comes to the people that matter, they say no, because this thing cannot be validated. If this comes out to the masses, and the masses actually figure out, hey, you know what, this thing ain't so stupid after all, this guy makes perfect sense, and it can actually be done, fuck me. Monsanto will be out of business, McDonald's will be out of business, all this big pharma that everyone complains about will be out of business.
Mm-hmm.
it will all go down. If you want to take down the establishment, this is it, my friend.
So,
This is.
so to be clear, how often do you eat at all?
I don't eat at all. I don't eat or drink.
When you don't drink either?
No, I have my saliva.
Mm-hmm. So when was the
last? I'm not gonna go into that whole when was the last and
yeah,
what did
okay.
you eat. That's all bullshit. I could tell you 10 years and you would never know anyway. So all that's bullshit. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there. But what I will say is that, like I say, I could, and you have to be careful of this. I could tell you because you don't know me. I could tell you 10 years and you wouldn't know.
See, that's a very interesting question, actually, that I've been thinking about myself a lot. When we talk about bullshit, I mean, really, I mean, I think it's when we say bullshit, you know, there's the whole thing of what information quote is bullshit, what information is not. I mean, in my opinion, it seems that the media has a lot of corporate, you know, interests behind it. So my question to you would be, what do you think about using your intuition to sort of weed through the bullshit or not weed through the bullshit? Or I'm not sure if you're understanding where my question is coming from, but you know the difference between intuition and knowledge and bullshit and how to weed through that.
It's I've had to learn the hard way of things because as a fruitarian in my early years I had to do it all by myself. So I had to go and I had to find out and research these things. I had to go deep and actually do it myself to find out what was bullshit and what was real. People said when I started fruitarianism, people said I would be dead in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know what? I was already doing it for like 3 weeks myself, but it wasn't until I came amongst other people that people started to offload their own fears and their own intuition on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what you have to get past as well, is their own projections. As far as bullshit goes, flip your neck, man. There's so much out there. You cannot listen to anything or anybody. You got to do it yourself. You literally got to follow your own intuition. If as crazy it may seem to society, if it feels right for you, fucking do it.
Wow. Yeah. Cool.
That's it. That's all there is, man. Serious, because you know you have your own destiny. You have your own purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you can't follow anybody else's journey or anybody else's fears. That's why I have to answer questions differently now, because intuitively I feel to. I don't want to answer the same bullshit questions about when was your last meal? Do you go to the toilet? Do you brush your teeth? Do you still ejaculate? All that.
Yeah. Wow.
You know? Because that's not where I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
That is not where I'm at now, and I would be lying to myself if I answered those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really care what anybody else has to say about it. Oh, he's bullshitting. He's trying to avoid the question. I'm not. I'm just answering the question from a different level now.
Mm-hmm.
All that matters is that I have the belief system that I can survive without cooked food, period, without eating or drinking. The body, scientists say, creates 1.5 liters of saliva at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that is funny because that's what they say is what the amount of liquid the body needs.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is that if I was to answer your question about eating correctly, I would say, okay, the last time I ate is like 10 seconds ago. You know, when I swallowed last.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least. Plus the body's making my blood. Plus the body's making whatever I need at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
So your body is always functioning to provide you whatever you need. So this whole concept of eating is still talking from a level of you need something external. I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
So I refuse now to answer questions from that level.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already have let go of the idea that you need external things.
So
that make sense?
that totally does. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So really, you basically just, well, like you said, like I've heard in some of your other videos, you've reached a new level of consciousness. I guess you've said, right?
I hate to say I've reached a new level of consciousness, but I just know to speak from where I'm at. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 'cause like I say, man, people, I guess like yourself, when they come across me, they have to understand that they're going to get a whole new level of depth that they probably didn't even realize. They've opened up a can of worms, basically, you know, Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes it's I just sound like a complete asshole because I don't answer their questions in the way they probably expect me to. So that's just a little warning type thing, you know?
Yeah. So...
But it makes an interesting interview.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's good. So I guess another question I would have is, what do you think of the current state of the media and, you know, what people are getting in for information?
Oh, mate, it's totally screwed up. People will let you know what they want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I say, this whole thing with me is that, you know, they know I'll do this shit. If they said, you know, we'll offer you X amount of money, we'll monitor you, and we'll see if you can do it. They know I'll do this shit, so they ain't doing it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way stuff will get out is if I do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a path I've just arrived on. It's like, okay, arranging things myself, getting my own media equipment and stuff, and doing shit myself. But yeah, man, media is so fucking crap. This society is so crap. It really is. You know, look at the first 30 minutes of The Matrix, and that's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
About this society. Bang, that's it. And it's just fucked up. We're slaves, total slaves. We're fed information that people want us to know, based on what they want us to buy, what they want us to sell, what they want us to look like, whatever. We are actually keeping this system going. If we went to breatharianism, the system would stop because it's not being maintained anymore. So that's how deep what I'm doing is.
So what would you? Well, I mean, I feel like this is just another one of those questions I would ask you. Like, I'm about to ask it, but it seems like one of those, when was the last time you ate questions? So I don't know if I'm going to try to rephrase this, but what would your advice to the average person be that just basically by reading this learn about breatharianism? But I mean, I know you've said in the past it's not really even about your advice, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. Is that sort of is that along the same lines of questioning that, you know, you were speaking about before, or, you know, we've basically just spoken about the system's bullshit. The you know, we're all slaves. So how would you say other people should get out of it, or do you not think you can comment on that?
It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, mate. There's so much to that question. It's unbelievable. Obviously, I'm going to tell you, the way to get out of it is to become breatharian, period. But at the moment, as it stands, breatharianism has got such a bad reputation and so much baggage, quite rightly so, because the people doing it have not been responsible enough to take care of it and protect it. Because it is quite a sacred lifestyle. It's a very sacred lifestyle. It's like, my name's Genesis, which means the beginning, change. And that's why I changed my name to that, because that's what breatharianism represents, the beginning, the original, you know, even before all the corruption. So that is a very deep question, and I would say, to get away from all this, to be free of the matrix, free of the system, breatharianism is the key. In fact, breatharianism, for want of a better term, is the key to everything, including the whole spirituality thing. Because what you will find in breatharianism, you will get what you will find, what you've heard about in spirituality in terms of being enlightened, you will get from breatharianism. And for me, that's the only thing that's actually worked, breatharianism.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all the meditation, you can do all the chanting, you can do all the singing around a tree and singing kumbaya and shit, you know. But none of that's worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as spirituality goes, all I've seen it do is break people down, make people worse, more dependent on buying tarot cards, more dependent on buying self-help books, just making other people rich.
Yeah, I mean, that's something too, the whole self-help industry. What do you think about, I mean, there's a huge industry out there, obviously, of
Oh, it's incredible, mate.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's an industry, and that's another thing I have to dig into, because I have a thing with past lives and all that stuff, and I know something's going on with me intuitively, but I've tried to research it and dig into finding myself commercially, and it's just been a total minefield.
Mm-hmm.
Total minefield. I've seen people along the way, because I'm protected intuitively. I'm protected. I'm guided, but I've seen people along the way that are just totally, been broken down, or weak, codependent on what some medium says, or what tarot card says, or what color clothing to wear because they're spiritual and they've got to wear white. They can't go certain places because the entities will get them, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people totally fucked up.
Yeah.
Totally fucked up, not knowing whether they're coming or going.
Mm-hmm.
And very spiritual people, like deep into chanting and spiritual meditation and taking ayahuasca and all that shit. Even ayahuasca, that's been totally misused and abused here.
Mm-hmm.
Totally,
Could you, what is that called? The iron wash?
Ayahuasca is like a DMT thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hallucinogenic thing.
Oh,
which is like totally used and abused in this part of the world. I spent a lot of time in Glastonbury,
mm-hmm.
and I was lucky enough to be able to do a lot of truth seeking there, and it's all bullshit, mate.
Mm-hmm.
And people are attacking me, calling me demonized, demonic, and whatever, just because I've got some balls.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So yeah, I have had to really do the whole Rocky Balboa thing and just go up into the snowy mountains and just do all the shit by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if people wanted to actually get away from the Matrix, they will have to realize they will have to do the same and live a totally separate lifestyle from what's being lived today.
Mm-hmm.
Because the two can't coexist. One of the lines on Matrix is one of the bloody great quotes is that people aren't ready to be unplugged, and something like they're so invested in it that they'll fight to protect it, and they will.
Mm-hmm.
They will. It's such a true quote. They will do that, whether they like it or not, whether they know what they're doing or not. So you have to kind of really intuitively feel this thing. It's not something you can wake up in the morning and listen to my interview and be like, oh yeah, that's interesting, let me do that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
This is like an intuitive calling so deep inside you.
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sometimes it drops out, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, I mean, so I guess intuitive calling, I see exactly what you're saying by that. You think I don't know, you think you've met a lot of people along the way who intuitively have been called to you? Or,
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people come, being put across my path that I've had to kind of clear things up for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been an honor, total honor to work for what I call working for the universe,
Mm-hmm.
May sound crazy to your readers and stuff, but yeah, it's like I am doing work for the universe, and it's very specific work, like going under all the bullshit. So people can do the bullshit if they want to, but if they want to get to the real deal, then they come to me, but they got to work for it.
And have you, because what you're saying is so, it goes against all these things, goes against a lot of the corporate interests. Have you ever, received threats or any of that sort in the future, in the past, or not really? It's never been that time.
Nah, not yet. I
Mhm.
mean, if I was on Oprah or some shit like that, then I probably would.
Yeah.
I probably would. But as it is now, I'm just a YouTube legend, and I mean, powers that be know. They already know. I mean, look, you have cigarette packets, right?
Mhm.
With the health warnings. Yeah?
Yep.
Saying, well, over here in England, they have the cigarettes with the health warnings that say smoking kills.
Mhm.
Big black letters in a big white box.
Mhm.
But they can do that shit because they know people are still going to buy it.
Yeah.
All right? So they know that they can listen. People can listen to me, but the chances are, all the people in these like secret societies that people claim to exist, they know this shit and they know how hard it is. So they know listening to me spouting off some bullshit about it is pretty much useless because not many people are actually going to have the balls to do it.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, so they're not that worried at the moment. They're just not going to let. They're just not going to let me get out there to the masses.
Mhm. I think another thing too is like the power of habits. You know how strong habits really are. Do you have any? I mean, this is just really almost conversational now. You know, the power of habits. You know, any personal. I'm sure you have personal experience breaking habits. So, I mean, you have any insight on that?
The only insight I have is, to be honest with you, growing balls.
Growing balls, yeah.
Yeah. You have to, you know, I've got to where I've got to by mastering failure, not by mastering success.
Wow. Okay.
That's how this thing. I've failed so many times. The only thing to do is succeed. The only thing left to do.
Mhm.
It's like, you know, when you just get so bored of failing, you fail so much, you literally teach yourself how to succeed.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. You know, I find that really, really crazy you said that because, you know, I've been feeling the same thing lately that, you know, just personally, our society is so anti-failure ridden. I mean, the whole school system is you better do this or you're gonna be hungry for the rest of your life. But at the same time, it's kind of like attached to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you're gonna die anyway. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, maybe not.
That's the thing. You don't have to die. This is how deep this is, man. You don't have to die, and that is just a part of the lie.
Mhm.
You
Really?
don't have to die. You don't have to even have money. I could go and live in the mountains if I didn't care about my clothes.
Mhm.
And be totally cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I have to worry about is, well, you know what? I'm not going to be able to have a shower. I'm not going to be able to wash. I'm not going to wash my clothes. If my clothes get ripped and stuff, that's it. That's the end of my clothes. That's all.
Mhm.
I could literally go and live in the mountains and be cool.
Yeah.
Bathe in a river or something like that. Just walk around naked, you know?
Mhm.
You don't have to die. Age, to me, is a disease. Just like you said, set upon by these habits.
Mhm. Wow. It's pretty crazy.
That's what I mean about this whole lie thing. Everything in this society is built on this lie that we need food to live and we will die.
Mhm.
Once you can get your head around that is bullshit, it opens up a totally new door.
Wow. That's crazy. Awesome.
It's a bit.
I mean, that's it. Yeah,
Once you figure that out and they get their head around it, that in itself is too much. And again, in the Matrix, you know, where Morpheus says to Neo, they're not allowed to actually unplug people because it can be too much for him.
Mm-hmm.
And for Neo, at that time, it was too much for him, you know?
Yeah.
But I've actually seen that in person. I've actually seen that in person where people just break down. They have a breakdown.
Yeah.
Because they've been introduced to my world and I've told them some shit.
Mm-hmm. So have you are you starting to meet other people that are really starting to walk along that path, or you think you're still developing it and trying to master the way to teach it, or?
A bit of both. The problem is that people want to do this. There are people that want to do this, but like I say, it's a very deep process, and even they don't understand how long and deep this process is.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're actually doing is just scratching the surface, most of them.
Yeah.
And that again is part of my work, is to tell them, you know what, really, you're just scratching the surface.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks my heart to have to break it to them, but I don't want people paying thousands of money to these high-profile breatharians at these workshops and getting shafted.
Yeah.
You know, this to me is a sacred lifestyle, and I respect it as that. And I want people to do it right and don't fuck around with it, because it ain't nothing to be fucked with.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people to have the understanding, the correct understanding of it, and do it properly, and transition to it properly, and do it consistently. None of it's on off thing. You know.
So when you say you want people to transition to it properly,
as in not starvation.
Not starvation, yeah.
The way, if you look on the internet and look at breatharianism, for want of a better term, that is the definition of starvation. That is, you'll find that all the definitions of breatharianism are written by skeptics.
Mm-hmm.
That is no word of a lie. That is truth.
Yeah.
That's why I say you have to be careful the information you get, because it's a lot of it is actual bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So you said you've gone about promoting it yourself now. So
I don't promote it. I just share my life.
Yeah, you just share it. Yeah.
I just share my experience for those that want to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I can only be a master of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Even at my workshops, I don't teach how to become a breatharian.
Mm-hmm.
At my workshops, I get people ready for getting back into shape and getting their body ready.
Mm-hmm. So basically what you do is breatharianism something that you have to learn on your own through failure?
No, breatharianism is a calling.
So yeah.
And basically you transition to it by following your intuition. I mean, it took me 17 years, maybe 18 years now,
Mm-hmm.
to gradually transition to it.
Mm-hmm.
And along the way, yes, you will slip up, you will mess up, you'll fuck up, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You will do, but gradually but surely you will get lighter, and your food will get lighter and lighter, and your body will take over, and it will actually dictate what it needs instead of you dictating what your body needs.
Wow. Well, that was definitely, thank you so much for for really sharing. I know you're probably very busy, but that's awesome.
Cool.
If you need anything in the future, want to keep in contact, this has been a pretty long, this is definitely a very long conversation. So in print, I definitely would probably want to break it down a little bit. But
Just do your thing.
Yeah, you want me to send?
Yeah.
Would you want me to send it to you just to show you what I'm going to print, or?
Just I trust you, man. Just do your thing. If you're recording it, I wouldn't mind having the recording and putting it on YouTube or something.
Okay, cool. I mean, the way I was recording it, since you're not, you'll just see a screen moving. But yeah, I have no problem sending it to you.
Yeah. I can put my own photo on it or something and just hear the audio. That's all.
Okay,
it's
cool.
It's in MP3, right?
Say that again.
It's in MP3 format, right?
Yeah, it should be. It's on my Android smartphone, so.
Okay.
So I'll email it to you right now, and
Cool.
Unfortunately, it's very slow, so I might have to email it to you'll get it within a couple days. I'll try emailing it now. It's just I've known in the past sometimes the email's really slow. So,
okay.
Cool. Well, definitely. Thanks for everything.
No worries, man.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Have a great day.
You too. You take care, bud.
All right. Bye.